Hey, what's happening everyone? FM Journeyman here, and welcome to episode 7 of Weston-Not Super Mare. So in the last episode, we beat Truro City 4-1 at home. Extremely comfortable result, as you can remember. If you haven't seen the episode, make sure you go check that out. Elliot Richards got 2 goals, Connor Deards with 1, and Chris Todd with an own goal. Ollie Knowles got 1 goal back for them. So next up, we played Concord. Now, this is kind of a hiccup. We lost the game 2-0 despite controlling the game from start to finish. Just one of those games we look at Football Manager and go, what the fuck? So next up we played Dartford at home, comfortable 2-0 win away. They actually played pretty well. The stats are a bit misleading. They put a little bit of pressure later on in the match. But we definitely controlled the game from start to finish. Obviously Tom Bonner with a goal, his own goal, and Elliot Richards scoring for us. Next up was against Boreham Wood, who currently play in the Vanarama National League, the division above us. It was a 3-1, pretty much, it was a really even game, but the score definitely was a bit flattering. Should have been 5-6-1 really. Bruno Andrade scored a hat-trick for them, and Connor Deards getting the only goal that put us ahead. Don't look at the stats, they are completely misleading. Boreham Wood pretty much dominated from start to finish. Next up, we beat Wellstone 3-0. Now, this was a huge victory for the team. Wellstone are currently in second place in the table. Behind us, we are in first. This was a huge promotion clash, and we took care of business, really. Ali Richards getting 2 goals, and Jake Watkins getting the other one. Then most recently we beat Whitehawk 4-2. Now, important thing about this game was that it was actually Tom Meachan's last game for us. He returned to his parent club of Newport County. His loan contract expired and he didn't wish to renew. So with us he finished with 34 appearances, 3 goals, 9 assists, 2 man of the match awards, and an average rating of 6.81. So obviously didn't score as many goals as I would have hoped, but his assist numbers were fantastic, and that's why he played a lot of games for us. So there you have it. We beat them 4-2. Joe Still, Theo Briley, Jake Watkins, and Elliot Richards with the goal, and Jordan Young and Danny Mills scoring for Whitehawk. So well, it leads us to today's game against Bath City. Now, I do have a couple of transfers to talk about before we jump into that. First signing was Matty Parsons, a 25-year-old left-back. Come with a lot of promise. My assistant manager highly recommended him. And unfortunately for us, he's got a bit of a injury plagued history, and he's going to be out for another 2 to 3 months. He signed for the club, about to play in the last game, but he got himself injured. Next up was Sam Smith. Now, Sam Smith is a all-round classic target man. Was on trial for us for a few weeks, did pretty well in the reserves, so I decided to sign him up as a replacement for Tom Meachan. Okay, so let's jump straight into the action here. Obviously, we are playing at home, Woodspring Stadium. As you can see, we are top of the table, but only by goals scored. Goal difference is equal, and so are points. Wellstone do have a game in hand, and Bath City currently sit in 7th place in the table, so it'd be good to get a win today, and hopefully we can make it convincing as well, just to help to the goal difference and the goal scored. So here's the lineup for today's game. Luke Purnell's going to be in goal, Brian at right back, who's made that position his own since playing in the first team when Sakani Simpson got injured. Joe Steele at centre half with Jamie Horncastle. Sakuna is going to play left back. There's a reason I've dropped Chris Barker. His form's absolutely terrible. He's getting exploited at the back, and he's definitely seen more as a weakness than a help nowadays. So Sakuna is going to play. Obviously Matty Parsons would have, but unfortunately injuries have stopped him. So Sakuna will line up there. In midfield, we've got Perry Ryan, Theo Briley, and Willie, with Connor Deards, Jake Watkins, and Elliot Richards leading the line. On the bench, Will Britt, Chris Barker, Pierce Mitchell, James Fitzgerald, and Sam Smith. So here we go. Connor Deards is going to wear the armband today's game. The media has us as favourites, and so does the bookies, 1-2 on. Let's hope we can prove them right. Alright, so in today's game, I'm hoping we can get a few goals and win this match comfortably. Bath City are a pretty tough team, so we'll just have to see how it goes. Hopefully get off to a good start, that'd be very helpful. Alright, so 15 minutes in, nothing to talk about thus far. Pretty boring game, no highlight to speak of. Here's maybe a chance. Ryan, back to Joe Steele, to Theo. on the turn to Deard. So Bryan is through on goal, shoots and scores. That's his first goal for the club. Richard Bryan, great finish off the inside of the far post. Great ball from Connor Deard. Very patient build-up play. That's what I love to see. Great through ball. And Richard Bryan tucks it home past the keeper. Keeper didn't bother diving, so the ball was crossed the line in classic Football Manager style action. Anyway, Horncastle makes the necessary clearance. Murphy is going to whip this ball back in. Hemmings to Wilkin at the far post off the crossbar. That was a good opportunity. That should have been a goal there. Should be 1-1, but he smashes it off the top of the bar and it goes harmlessly away. So here we get to about 15 minutes left before half time. Things are going pretty well. Stats are in our favour, so that's positive. Fleetwood here, maybe going to set up a chance. Bryan brings down Fleetwood. Bryan said he could be in trouble here. See what's going to happen. Just talking to, which means this could be a very dangerous highlight. Who's going to take this? Murphy's going to whip this ball in. Joe still makes a clear and powers Burke, and it's somehow squeezed in there. Who'd have come off last? Sean Burke from the edge of the area. I don't know how that ball got through. Take a look at the 3D replay and see exactly what happened. So yeah, Murphy whips it in, still makes a clear and Burke ahead from the edge of the area, and it just kind of goes through Luke Purnell. And that's the kind of shit that the Football Manager really needs to fix. That was a terrible highlight, and there we go, 2-1 just before half-time. DeMarco, scorcher from a distance. Let's see what happened here too, but it looks like another goalkeeping error from Luke Purnell. Let's see what happened here. Yep, should have stopped it again. That's one of those ridiculous goalkeeper animations that don't make any sense whatsoever. And fortunately, it's put us 2-1 down going into half-time. I'm going to go with a team talk from my assistant manager, but I'm also going to let the boys know that I do have faith that they will make a comeback. But that's kind of the stuff that really, really pisses me off about Football Manager. You know, it's a quality game. Obviously, hours been spent on it, but not really enough on the match engine. They throw up these awful like goalkeeping mistakes and awful highlight system. So it's just disappointing to see it. But anyway, back to the task at hand. Enough moaning about Football Manager. Wooly to Deard, the Theo, Connor Deard on the turn. Bryan's on the overlap again. Another chance. Cross it into Richards, who should have scored. Great save from Harvey in goal. But Richards really should have made it 2-2. Here's maybe another chance. Deard's in the box, and he's brought down by Stuart Wilkin. It's going to be a penalty. If my memory serves me correct, yep, it's going to be Perry Ryan that's going to step up to take this penalty kick. Hopefully he'll make it 2-2 here. See what he can do. The ref is taking a sweet-ass time with no booking. So there we go. Perry Ryan steps up, shoots, and straight down the middle of the goal. 2-2. Comfortable penalty for Perry Ryan. That's his third goal of the season, and we are back on level terms. Game on again. Let's take a look at the 3D replay. It shouldn't be anything spectacular. Yep, just easy side foot, and the keeper kind of walks to his left. So once again, fantastic highlight system. Anyway, we've got about 30 minutes left to play here. Things are looking pretty even across the board between the two teams. That game can definitely go either way. I'm going to go ahead and make a change. I am going to bring off Jake Watkins. I'm bringing on Sam Smith for his debut, and I'm also going to bring on James Fitzgerald for Willie in the middle of the park. Hopefully those changes will make a bit of a difference, and maybe we can sneak a last-minute winner. But 30 minutes left to play. We do have a little bit of time on our hand. We've got plenty, how you see from the attributes, the stats down the bottom left, you're going to see we have plenty of clear-cut chances today. Good amount of possession, but we haven't really made it count. Unfortunately, those two errors from Luke Purnell at the end of the first half is really costing us so far. Alright, so currently, let's see, we've got 20 minutes left to play here. I'm tempted to go to attacking formation, but I'm going to hold on here. A draw would not be the worst result in the world. Disappointing, but not the worst. So we've got 5 minutes of time left here, 3 minutes. Sam Smith got a knock. That's not good to see. Not happy about that. Let's bring on one more player. Let's bring on Piers Mitchell for Jamie Horncastle just to freshen some legs up. But obviously that's a bit troublesome there. Sam Smith has got a potential head injury. Here's a chance for him as well. Cross it into Artis at the back post. And the goal will count. There it is. Frankie Artis scores a last-minute winner for Bath. You've got to be fucking kidding me. Oh, Jesus. Excuse my French. Diallo's going to whip this in. And Artis taps it home. What the fuck was this guy doing? Fleetwood. He just stood on the edge of he just stood on the post. What the fuck? I've got no words. This is fucking terrible. How have we lost this game today? 3 comical goals to say the very least. Here's maybe a chance to equalise, whips it in, comes to nothing, and that's the end of entry time. Brian's going to put this back in, but Harvey claims it nice and easy, and a full-time whistle blows. It is a 3-2 defeat at home to Bath City. I do not have a clue how we lost this game today. All those goals we conceded were absolutely ridiculous, and not to mention, I mean, we didn't even play that badly. 18 shots to their 12, 9 on target to their 5, 56% possession. I mean, I'm lost for words. How the heck did we lose that game? See, this is kind of one of those games that makes you feel like the result is predetermined before you even kick off. Like, you know, the changes you make during the game don't really matter. I've got no words. Anyway, disappointed with that result, naturally, as you can probably tell from my tone of voice and all the shit I'm saying out my mouth. But we are in a pretty good spot still. We are second place in the table. Wilson do have 2 games in hand, so that puts us at a bit of a disadvantage. We are 11 points ahead of Dartford, who currently sit in 6th in the table. So those are all positives to talk about. We've got one more positive to talk about as well. The next episode is going to be up against a Maidenhead at home. Obviously, in the last live comp we did with them, we lost, so it'll be a bit of a revenge match. And also the first week in March is going to be the youth intake. Obviously, it's a very exciting time for the club. I'm going to bring you guys back to do a special on that episode. So thank you guys so much for watching the video. Hope you guys enjoyed it, and I'll see you guys in the next part. Goodbye, everyone. Goodbye.